all quarters of our neighborhoods and communities, as we saw when I was running. Now, I also want to say that that seems to be more pronounced with the brothers. When you have a choice that is this clear, when on the one hand you have somebody who grew up like you, knows you, went to college with you, understands the struggles and pain and joy that comes from those experiences, who's had to work harder and do more and overcome, and you're coming up with all kinds of reasons and excuses. Part of it makes me think that, well, you just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as president. And so now you're thinking about sitting out or even supporting somebody who has a history of denigrating you because you think that's a sign of strength, because that's what being a man is, putting women down. That's not acceptable.
Why are black men being lectured to? Why are black men being belittled in ways that no other voting group?
A tour of media to appeal to men.
They need to appeal to the needs of the voters. And so when I was a delegate for President Obama in both of his elections in Ohio, right now the vice president is down 11 points in Ohio, even though I fully expect President Trump to take Ohio as he did twice, but to be down 11 points compared to President Biden, that is a problem. But this other issue I want to bring up is a problem too. Why are black men being lectured to? Why are black men being belittled in ways that no other voting group? Now, a lot of love for former President Obama, but for him to single out black men is wrong. And some of the black men that I have talked to have their reasons why they want to vote a different way. And even if some of us may not like that, we have to respect it. So unless President Barack Obama is going to go out and lecture every other group of men from other identity groups, my message for Democrats is don't bring it here to black men who, by and large, don't vote much differently from black women. And why? As a politician, we should be trying to get all voters to vote. And hopefully there are a few good men out there who do care about the stripping away of some of women's bodily autonomy. But this is wrong for President Obama. It is a wrong course for the Harris-Walz campaign to lay at the feet of black men when they have their reasons. In 2020, the vice president was labeled a cop, as we know.
But do you think, sorry to interrupt you, Nina, but do you think he's right? That one of the reasons is because they don't like the idea of a woman.
It might be some listen, black men are socialized in the same society as any other man. So yes, is misogyny maybe a part of it? But again, is President Obama and is the Harris-Walz campaign going to lecture other male groups in the same way that they're lecturing black?
All right, here we are. All right, you was able to check those videos out. Welcome to 411 Sports World. Make it make sense. I am in the studio with the king of controversy, Hot Tub Tony. What's going on, man?
How's everybody doing, man? What's going on?
All right. Just my guy right here, Hot Tub Tony, man. We get together on Sundays and we hit the hard topics, man. Sometimes it's sports related, sometimes it's not. And here's one where this was something that we really want to get into. So make sure you check out Hot Tub Tony on all social media platforms. All right, Hot Tub, you saw the videos. You saw the video with President Obama, former President Obama, as he was lecturing a group of black men, right? And basically within there's some notes here that we'll dive into. But basically he was, in my opinion, he was really just chastising black men, man, calling us out and really questioning um, the thought process of the black males when it come to voting. So I'm gonna let you dive into it. Then you also heard a little bit of rebuttals there, but go ahead, man. You can go ahead and kick this thing off.
Uh, when this topic came up, we had something totally different on the plan for today. But when those comments couldn't let this pass, I couldn't let those comments go unanswered. So speak for all black men. I speak for enough, and I damn sure speak for myself when I say Obama does not speak for black men. Um, we've seen this time and time again with the Democratic Party talking down on black men. It started with Hillary Clinton, and Biden exacerbated it with his "if you don't vote for me, you ain't black" comment. And we've seen this throughout Kamala Harris's run, that they get their political pundits, they get their Democratic shields to come in and basically browbeat and talk down and demean black men into voting for them. And I don't know who's in their ear, what Democratic strategists came up with this policy that they've been pushing now for going on 20 years. I'd say even went into the first Obama term. This has been their strategy. But this is not the strategy that's going to win you votes and admiration in the black community. Um, Black men like any other men, and most men don't like to be talked down to. We
Right,
we, we deal in a level of respect in our community, respect for everybody, and I know that's not the narrative that the media puts in place, but it's high level. The black community runs off of respect. I respect you. I respect what you got going on, even if I don't agree with your stance on certain things. Level of respect and decorum that needs to be in place. And what I see with how they talk to us and our community as a whole, not just black men, but our community as a whole, versus how they talk to other communities. I've yet to see the Democratic Party come out and go browbeat Hispanics. They're not voting for Kamala en masse, even though this administration has done everything to give them a leg up in American society, all the way back to Obama. They can't, yet the Hispanic vote is not a lock for them to talk down on them. I've never seen them talk down on the Jewish community. They never go to their community and say, "What's wrong with y'all? Why y'all not voting?" They don't talk to the Asians like that. So what makes it acceptable to talk to black folks like this? This is not a winning strategy. Black folks, we are like anybody, any other American citizen. What are your policies? What tangibles are you going to bring towards me and my community? How are you going to better my life if I put you in office? These are the questions that we want answered, just like anybody else. Yet this has been the strategy for this party over and over and over again. And now they wheel out Obama, who's, let's just call it what it is. His whole presidency legacy is in question at this point in time, because if Harris loses, Obama is not the kingmaker and this love president that everybody tries to make him out to be. Every candidate that he's ever supported, that he's gone out and stomped for, has lost. Not one from any level of government has won their election an Obama endorsement, and that's telling. That's why he didn't come out for at first. That's why he didn't come out for Harris when she announced that she was going to. Truth be told, he didn't even. That's not the candidate that he wanted to put in place. So now for him to come out and think that this strategy, you tried this before, Obama. When Tamir Rice died, you came out and browbeat the black community, calling us thugs and all kind of demeaning things you said. You did the same thing during Hillary's run. You did the same thing during Biden's run for presidency. You talk down on. Then for him to get up here and say our communities and this is what we need to do. Let's be clear on Barack Obama. You did not grow up with us. You do not understand our community. And this is the thing that the Democrats, just because you put a black face in front of us, Democrats, does not mean that they're one of us, especially when their experiences as black are very questionable. You can't put candidates whose blackness is predicated on 4 years of college, or, oh, I got a black wife, so I'm black. Yeah, no, you melanated, you look like us, but our experiences in America are totally different from yours. Obama grew up in a white household. Okay. And his presidency reflected that. He did nothing for the black community. I can show you what he done for the LGBT community. He did a lot for them. I can show you what he's done for the Hispanic community. He did a lot for them. But nothing for the black community. That trend continued under President Joe Biden. Also, he did a lot for Hispanics again, illegal immigrants. He did a lot for Ukraine and Israel, but nothing for the black community. So black men and the black community, I'm gonna stop because a lot of the gender divide in our community comes off the Democratic Party. And then let's be honest about that. You have black pundits on TV that get on here and push the gender. We have to divide black men and black women. Now you're starting to see, oh, you can't win just with black women. You need both sides.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're just now coming to this realization. Less than 30, well, about 30 days from the election, and it's just dawning on you. Maybe we shouldn't have spent the last 4 years denigrating black men. Well, maybe you should have gave us a candidate that's worth us voting for. The Democrats, they've done this for 20 years. You put up terrible candidates who the black community, arguably your largest voting bloc, has said time and time again, we don't like Hillary. We don't like Joe. We didn't like Kamala. You know, you put they're making it a point to push Kamala Harris when she announced that she was taking Joe Biden's place as the presidential nominee. We didn't get a chance to vote for that. If we wanted Kamala Harris in office, we would have voted her in office in 2020. You know, a lot of times we forget she was the first candidate to drop out because the black community saw through her. One thing about us as a community, we don't like phony stuff. We don't like people who aren't genuinely who they are. You know, that sets off something in us that we don't like. But yet the Democrats keep putting up candidates like this. So, you know, Obama doing this is par for the course with him. This is what he's done throughout his political career. But he fails to realize, and the Democratic Party fails to realize, that the voters from 2008 are not the voters from 2024. You have a whole new base. You've lost a lot of your core Democratic supporters. That baby boomer crowd, that's a diminishing group. So you keep trying to cater to them. I know in his speech he brought up, and Kamala Harris keeps bringing up, oh, we doing a lot. We got prescription medication, Medicaid, and all that. The average black person got insurance. We're not on Medicare. We don't need that much assistance. Some do, but we don't need that much assistance to the point to where you're going to hang giving us help with prescription drugs as a core tenant on your campaign. That's not, those days are not working. That only worked for our parents' generation because that's something they care about. But let's be honest. That demographic is dying out day by day. So you're gonna have to come to younger black voters and offer us something tangible, and that's what we're asking for. We're not asking for anything out of what we don't. Number one, that you haven't given to every other demographic. That's the kicker. But to wheel him out of retirement, to have him lecture us, yeah, no, that doesn't work. You might have been able to do that and get away with it with a younger me in 2008 who didn't know any better. I'm 40. I'm 47 years old. I'd be damned if I let another man sit and lecture me on how I choose to vote. That is my right, not yours. You're not entitled to my vote. My parents may have let you feel that way. This generation, the millennials, the Gen Z, they not no. They're gonna tell you the same thing. Hey man, you're not entitled to my vote. What you gonna do for me? And as of yet, the Harris campaign come out and really clearly state their agenda. They spent the last 3 months ducking the media. They've let black media pundits talk for them and speculate, oh, what they're gonna do. And as far as I've seen and what she said, on her 60-minute video, Kamala Harris said her agenda is the same as the Biden administration's agenda. Well, we've already told Biden we don't like that agenda. We don't like illegal immigration. This hurts the black community. We're telling you this. And yet they still, no, we're going to do this anyway. Well, black voters are showing you. Since you won't listen to us, since you won't acquiesce to our demands, since you continue to disrespect us, we're going to show you our disdain for you as a party in the polls. And when you lose this election, because she cannot afford to have a slippage in the black vote. Joe Biden won the election in 2020 by what, 40,000 votes?
Yeah.
That's not a lot. When you look at the country and the numbers in this country, that was a very slim margin. So you can't have any slippage in your core demographics vote. But what we're seeing, counter to what the narrative is in a lot of these polls that you're getting, you're seeing a big slide. And I think their internal polling is telling them that for them to bring out Obama. Because they only bring him out when in very close elections. So that's letting them know, hey, man, we're losing our core demographic.
So how tell you? So you think that because of that, that's why Obama now is out, and this is the card that's being played, which is, hey, we recognize that we need more black male votes, and the angle that the way we're gonna try to increase that vote number is to chastise us, because that's basically what he did. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, because there's some things
Mm-hmm.
I wrote down here. He said the choice is clear. Uh, he said, the choice is clear for one. He said, not the same energy, as when he ran, not the same turnout as in when he ran. You know what I'm saying? And it just seems like, and all that's being pointed towards the black man. You know what I'm saying? The black male vote. So, those type of things, just it just kind of hits us the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't. And this is for anybody who's listening. Like, my vote is my vote. You know what I'm saying? Whichever way
Mm-hmm.
I vote or don't vote, that's the individual's right, and it's for them to decide on their own and make their own decision. And that's why they have voter booths where you can't see what the vote is, because it's your individual private choice. And so, to force it in that kind of angle, it to me makes no sense, and it is really degrading. And then also, to say that there was, let me see, I wrote that down too, to a degree, but he said something about, um because she's female, that that's the way we think, because we're men, we're gonna look at it like, because she's, and I'm paraphrasing, but because there's a female candidate, we're not going to want to vote for her simply because of that. And that's not the way to be a man. Like, that just sounds silly, what I'm saying, to say something like that,
Mm-hmm.
and disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? And any man that got any kind of sense for themselves and think for themselves should feel disrespected with that. And that doesn't mean that I'm gonna vote for this person or that person. That just means as an individual. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't be talking to me like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't have no sense. Like I'm a kid. You know what I'm saying? A
Right.
kindergartner or something. And that's just it's unacceptable to me. Um, how do you think he should have approached it?
I mean, if you want to ask that question, that's the question. What he should have done was did like every other candidate they do. Do like you do when you talk to Jews. Tell us what you're gonna do for us. That's as simple as I can put it. Outline your policies. Outline what your agenda is for your administration and how it relates to our community, not people of
Hmm.
color, not black and brown, because those days are done. There is no coalition of these multicultural people that come together and sing kumbaya into the Democratic Party. That's not happening. Black people are asking these questions. Now, what are you gonna do specifically for my community?
Hmm.
Because we saw other communities get things specifically for them. Answer those questions, Obama, if you were gonna come out and do this. Let's address something. Kamala Harris doesn't have the advantage that Obama had. Obama had the advantage of coming out and presenting the world with a black family, black man, black women, black woman, black children.
Hmm.
Kamala Harris does not have that. Kamala Harris is married to a white man who she did not even take his name. It should have been Kamala Imhoff, not Kamala Harris. But she downplays her spouse because she knows that that's not a big win for the black community. That's not something we don't all aspire to have an interracial relationship. So most black folks can see themselves in the Obamas. That symbolism is a hell of a drug, and we fell for it hook, line, and sinker for a lot of years. But the further we got out from Obama's last term, the more reality set in. The more you heard black people being more critical of the Obama. And you're talking to somebody who voted for white. I bought on I drunk the Kool-Aid. Only
Well,
for
you gotta
like
say
I
that
said,
one more time. You gotta say that one more time. It froze up on you. You said you voted.
I voted for Obama twice. I believed in that hope and change that he was selling. And when it didn't come through, when I didn't see tangibles, that's when I started to change my tone. That's what made me start to look at the Democratic Party more critical. Did not vote for Trump. Didn't vote for Hillary. I sat that one out. That was my first time sitting out an election. When it came to Joe Biden and versus Donald Trump, I sat that one out too. And I'm not ashamed to say it because I can't see myself voting for Donald Trump. I'm not opposed to it. He just hasn't offered us anything. If he comes with any kind of tangible for the black community, he might have my vote. But I am a true independent. If you ask who I'm leaning towards this time, I'll tell you the Green Party. I'm looking at Jill Stein's um, campaign very hard. There are other options out there. You got Cornel West. I'm just not a fan of Cornel West. But that's my right. I can vote
Hmm.
obligated to vote Democrat. And I don't care if you put whoever on Charlemagne in the Breakfast Club to come tell them that I'm not black if I don't vote for him. I guess I'm not black then. I'm blacker than you. I'm black enough to know I'm black enough to know that my black community needs tangible. There's things we need
Hmm.
that you're not providing. There's a meme going. It's kind of funny because there's a meme going around, and it has the hood under Obama, the hood under Trump, the hood under Biden, and it never changes. And that's a powerful meme. I wish I'd have gave it to you in time enough for it. But that's a powerful meme. That's a powerful meme if you think about it. No matter who's in office, our condition has not changed. And not all of us live in the hood. I live in a very nice neighborhood, all black. But even my condition as a whole, as a people, has not changed. So what are we voting for? And that's what a lot of us are looking at. What are we voting for? Why do you need our vote if you're not going to help us? If you're not going to address the needs of our community, why are you browbeating us so hard to vote for you? If you don't care about our vote, then let us go. We're fine. We still have to wake up in the morning. We still have to be black in America. We still going to go through the same trials and tribulations that we've been going through. We survived Trump. Hell, we go back even further. We survived every president, and we still here as a people. So this narrative that they push to us every election, if you get you're gonna be back in chains if this one getting off. They said the same thing about Mitt Romney.
Mm.
They said the exact same thing they said about Trump. They said about Mitt Romney. I'm just old enough to remember it. I'm just sure you are the same. And a lot of your viewers are.
Mm.
So why if we keep surviving every time that they tell us if you put this person in office, you're gonna be back in slavery. If that's the narrative, why we ain't back in slavery again?
Yeah, we should have been back. Yeah.
You
Oh,
know, that's sorry, go ahead.
no, I'm saying that, and it just seems like we are the only, segment of people that have to be quote unquote forced to do something or talk into doing something, uh, going one certain direction. And to me, that just doesn't sit well with me. Um,
Mm,
some things that the former president did say was like outside of that part about all right, the same energy, so on and so forth. The choice is clear. He said, um, looks like you, went to college like you, uh, overcome like you. So, how do you feel about those comments that he made, those statements within his speech, or his lecture, excuse me, to the
he
group of
may
black
look
men?
he may look like us, but she don't. I ain't never seen no black person with that nose. But as far as you went to college like me, it's a lot of non-black people that go to HBCUs. That's not an uncommon thing. You have a whole college in West Virginia that's a HBCU that's full of white folks.
Yeah,
That's
it's only
majority
eight
white.
percent black, right? West Virginia State
Right.
University
So
is 8%
mm,
black. Yeah,
so me,
8%.
I'm tired of the HBCUs being allowing themselves to be used as a wedge issue for the black community. So every time that black people demand tangibles, they point to the HBCUs. All of us don't go to HBCUs. I'm 47 years old. I'm not going back to college. I don't care what fraternity. I'm in my own fraternity. I don't care what fraternity or sorority you've been in. Kamala Harris is 59 years old, and you keep going back to something she did for 4 years. Four. So you were black for 4 years. What were you the other 55?
Well,
Because
let's
it's
see what
clear
this
as day
video
we know what's
says.
black.
Well, let's listen to this video and then you tell me.
Okay.
Call
Kamala?
yes, please.
Okay, because the Indian in me, I feel like my parents,
Just
my
don't
dad
call
will
me
watch this.
Just don't call me auntie.
Okay, okay, I won't call you auntie. They'll be like, how could you call her by her first name? She's worked so hard. Okay, so what we're gonna cook today is an Indian recipe.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
you are Indian.
Yes.
Okay, and I don't know that everybody knows that, but I find that wherever I go and I see Indian people at the supermarket, on the street, everyone's like, Kamala Harris is Indian, right? It's like the thing we're so excited about to have you running for president.
Yeah.
So we're both Indian,
Yes.
but actually we're both South Indian.
Yes. You look like the entire one half of my family.
Okay, thank you.
You do.
I've been telling people
You
we're
do.
related already,
Yeah.
so this is perfect. It's basically true. And so were you raised eating South Indian food?
I'm so
All right,
glad
so
so glad you showed that. So glad you showed that. Out her own mouth, black people, if we make sure I'm talking to them, out her own mouth, she said she's Indian. And I would have I would have respected her more if she ran as an Indian candidate. And I'm going to say something controversial. And, I don't care about the controversies. This is a problem that we've seen in the Indian community. with them cosplaying blackness, thinking they're cosplaying blackness. They think that they can blend in with us. There's a lot of people that think you blend in. We understand we're not stupid. We know that you're not us. We can tell from your walk, your demeanor, your mannerism, how you cut your hair, how you look. There is a difference in you and I, and that's okay for us to be different people. You can sympathize with what we go through. You can be an ally and still be yourself. But when you choose to be deceptive and try to trick us into thinking that you black, I have a problem with that. I had a big, major problem with that. Because if you try to trick me into thinking, and for me to think you're me, what is your real true agenda? Why are you doing that when you could just be yourself?
Yep.
You know,
That's it,
that
man.
was. It's funny that you had Mindy Kaling on there, who that's the young lady that she was on there on that clip with. Her brother wrote a book about how he went to how he snuck into a HBCU by pretending to be black. Very interesting read. If you get a chance, go look it up. And the black community was so offended by this that they forced her to publicly denounce her brother. So we're offended by him doing it. Why are we not offended by Kamala Harris doing the exact same thing? This woman didn't grow up in America. She grew up in Canada. She came back to America. She left at 12. She came back to America to go to college. This is not, she doesn't even have the American experience, much less the black American experience. You know,
So
and we keep
Obama was not accurate then in saying that she grew up like us.
right. That's exactly where I was going with it. That's, but neither did he. He doesn't have our experience. We respected Obama because he was honest about that. That he didn't grow up with black. He told us that he grew up with a white mother. We can respect that. We got mixed people in our. Some of us got mixed people in our families, so we understand
Hmm.
that. There wasn't this level of deceit that there is with her, and that I'm seeing with her. And you're not gonna trick us. If you want us to vote for her, give us tangible policies. But I can go down a laundry list of things that that the Biden administration didn't do. And since you came out on 60 Minutes, not just a week ago, and said your policies are the same, there is no difference in your policies than there are in Biden's policies. Once you say that, then I have to levy every criticism that I have on the Biden administration also gets levied on you. Because a lot of people say, well, she's just the vice president. She can't do anything. Well, y'all basically told us when Biden dropped out the race that he dropping out the race because he's old and incompetent. So if that's the case, number two steps up. She's the next person in charge. Then why isn't she meeting with these heads of state? Why is she campaigning? You should be running the country if Biden's incapable of running the country because you say he's
Wow.
incapable of running. Did you not tell us basically that he was too old, too feeble, too incompetent to run? So why is he still running the country? We didn't get a chance. We didn't get a chance to nominate a potential candidate to come back and replace him. Y'all picked her, but that's just par for the course with her. She's been given every political position that she's been in. She's been given. This woman hadn't won an election. Nobody in the black said, "Hey, I won't Kamala Harris." Because if you lie and say you did, then why did she drop out in 2020? 2019 is when she dropped out. Not even in 2020. She was the first
Oh.
candidate to drop out. Cory Booker lasted longer than her.
Yeah.
But this strategy that Obama's using, I mean, we saw this with Stacey Abrams, and that election should have let the Democratic Party know that we're not feeling your strategy. Stacey Abrams lost twice. They tried to make her out like, oh, she's this big kingmaker in Georgia that can galvanize black people to the polls. Then we find out that's a lie. Nobody's listening to Stacey Abrams. Where is she now? Anybody heard from her in the last 9 months, 10 months, the last year, the last 2 years? I damn sure haven't now in Georgia. But everything that we're seeing it. Don't believe me. Don't believe them. Believe your eyes. Believe what people are showing you who they are if you actually look. Come into it with a critical mindset. Or don't. If you feel like the Harris is the candidate for you, by all means vote for. I don't tell
Hmm.
you who to vote for. I
Right.
don't tell anybody who they should vote for. But don't disrespect me. Don't browbeat me. Don't try to belittle me for my decision on who I choose to or not to vote for. That's where the problem is. To the point to where you got I know families that don't talk to each other because of this damn election. I'll be glad when it's over. And I've seen relationships fractured because of this election. Black people, we should not political candidate ruin long-standing
Hmm.
relationships within our
Right.
community. I go even back to the Janet Jackson situation. The Jackson family is beloved by the black community. Beloved. To the point you still can't say too much about Michael Jackson without getting a lot of backlash from black community. You mean to tell me y'all are willing to go against Janet Jackson? We know her. We know this family. This family has grew up with us since the 60s. We've known Janet since the 70s. And we gonna turn around and discredit and disrespect somebody we've known for a family and a person that we've known for 40 person who may or may not be black, not a lot on the not. We gonna disrespect this person, Janet Jackson, for her? Hey man, black folks get together. If, if you if you still see value in the Democratic Party, by all means, vote for them, bro. But all this disrespectful tactics that they using, don't stop. You know, you're gonna stop that. And this is the put me back on screen. I want to talk directly to a specific person with this. I know he ain't gonna see it directly, but maybe one of his supporters that's hate watching is gonna show it to him. Roland Martin. Black men are not stupid fools. Stop calling us stupid fools. You cannot insult us into the ballot box, Roland Martin. Your answer to every time they say, "What's the problem with black community?" I watched your program the other day. Your answer is always the same when they say, what would get black people to the polls? His answer is always, if you spend more money with black media, i.e., me, him, you spend more money with me, I can get the black folks. You can't galvanize black folks to the poll. You can't. You failed on CNN, you're failing on your own podcast, Roland Martin. This is specifically for Roland Martin. And to anybody that's like him, that's thinking that insults will get black folks, especially black men, to the poll, you are sadly mistaken. What you looking at right here, we the typical black voter. We are. We are the ones that you want to court. But you levying all these insults on us. It's basically turning me very sour on your party. But let's go, do we have time, Mr. 411, do we have time to go through the Democrats' greatest failures of this administration?
We have time.
Let's go. I'm
You
not
got
even
a few
gonna
more
go
minutes.
I'm not even gonna go past this year. One of the single biggest issues in Black America right now is our push for reparations. And we saw the stunt that was pulled by Gavin Newsom and the California Black Caucus in denying the descendants of slaves in California the reparations that they're due. We saw you deny that. That played out right in front of us. We haven't forgotten that. And if you think you're gonna wheel Gavin Newsom out in 2028 as a presidential hopeful candidate, or no, it's not gonna happen either for him. His political aspiration for presidency was done when he did that. You're not gonna keep pulling these stunts on us. If you go and look at, I challenge anybody, go and look at the videos from Chicago. It's It's a guy that runs. It's a Middle Eastern guy that runs a little bodega, a little grocery store, and he asking all the people in Chicago that come to his grocery in the middle of the hood. He asking them, "Hey man, you voting for Kamala Harris?" The resounding answer is no. Not is no, an aggressive no. And a lot of people, I watch the comments of his videos, and a lot of people, oh, well, I suspect they can't vote anyway. Oh, they the lowest hanging fruit. These are black people making these comments, black folks. Well, guess what? They may be. They may be the thugs, and you may demean them, and they may be everything that you say they are. But guess what? They can still vote. Most of them. And if they did choose to vote, guess who they not voting for? And you disrespecting them and you insulting them is not helping your cause. You're hurting your own party. Every one of y'all that do that is hurting your own party. Number one, it lets you know that you don't understand black culture because all of us have people like that in our families. That don't mean we love them any less. Hell, if anything, we try to uplift and educate them, not demean and demoralize them. But them people in Chicago are seeing what's going on in their community. They're seeing what the results of this illegal immigration is doing to their communities in Chicago and New York, and to a lesser extent, Denver, Colorado. Hell, ask Houston. Ask Houston about illegal immigration. Houston used to be a sizable black population. That's dwindling. The Hispanics are the majority now in Houston. We're not seeing it on the news, but they go downtown. Go downtown Atlanta. Go up there by the bus station, right across from Magic City. You see the Hispanics getting off the bus, going one block up to this building and getting their checks and their cards. They're just not dropping. They're just not letting them stay in the city of Atlanta where we can see them like they are in other cities. They get them to the surrounding cities. So you'll see them up there, the heavy population in Gwinnett County. You'll see them in Cobb County. But you just don't see them in the city proper. That can easily change under a Kamala Harris administration to the point where they're trying to drown our votes out with these people. These people are openly hostile to black people. Majority of them. They come from anti-black cultures. They come from cultures that they discriminate against the black people in their cultures. And you don't see those are the people that's immigrating up here. It's the lighter ones. It's the ones that quote unquote don't like us. They don't have no camaraderie with us. And I dare
Is
to
there
say in most black people's lives, you don't have. Huh? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, you good. I was just saying, is there any way that they able to vote any kind of way?
Um. So there was a bill in place that they were trying to push at the last minute to go through to get them to have them be able to vote. They were trying to attach it to the spending bill, if I'm not mistaken. And I think that had to be taken out, or they were gonna risk a government shutdown because the Republican Party wasn't gonna let you legalize 4 million illegal immigrants overnight to become your voter block, which kudos to them. Now, but now, as of now, no. In some states, yes. Very few
Mm,
states. And I don't have those numbers. I wish I did have those numbers in front of me because I like to give accurate information.
no, that's fine. We
Uh,
can in the comment section later.
but there are states that are trying to allow it, that's on their ballots right now, if they haven't passed it already. So there are some states that are pushing for the illegals to be given the right to vote. But I think that's a
Man,
state thing, not a now. It's definitely not a federal government thing as of yet.
right. Okay.
So we see the strategy in place is this is a replacement strategy. The slaves are broken bad on you, and now they demanding stuff. The Democrats don't want to give us anything, which is crazy because you're giving the illegal stuff, you're giving the Asian stuff, you're giving Ukraine, you're giving the Jewish people stuff. We just asked for our slice. That's it. That's all we asked for was what's owed to the people who built this nation. You know, they like to say, well, we're a nation of immigrants. No, no, no. No, we're not. We have been here since the founding of this country. There was no, there were black people, there were black slaves here and black freedmen here before there was an America here. And people don't seem to understand that. Before this nation became the United States of America, we were here. Not Hispanics, not Asians, not Pacific Islanders, not Middle Easterners, black folks and white folks, and Native Americans, the red Native Americans. Three groups
Hmm.
here. Reason why they're not, when it comes to election time, every election time, they don't go out and give the attention to the Asian Americans, even to the Hispanics. They're not even courting Hispanic people like they are us. When you cut on the TV, when they talk politics, it's squarely what are the black people doing? How are the black people voting? They don't care how you vote, Asian community. They don't care how you vote, Hispanic community, because they can't survive. The Democratic Party cannot survive without our vote. That's why there's so much attention is paid to us. And it's high time that we leverage that to get something for that vote. Or we can watch you fail this year, then we can watch you fail in 2028. I doubt you as a party can survive two presidential election cycles with losses.
Wow,
Because
man, hot tub. This is it's gonna be a race here, man. So we're gonna see how it all turn out, man. But man, this is wow. I mean, again, I think the approach was not the right move. Um, that's not going to sway. For example, it's not going to sway me. You can't, talking to me that way is not going to work. And I'm certain there's, you know, plenty more of us that feel the same way.
uh, hey, if I know black people. I'm gonna say I know something else, but I know my folks. If you tell me you better do this, you gonna get that look from us. I better do what? And then I'm gonna do the opposite of what you told me to do just because you told me to do it and how you told me to do
Yeah,
it. To let you know you don't run me. And that's what that should be the motto and our response for President Obama and his disrespect. It
yeah,
should be hashtag you don't run me. I'm a
yeah, man.
grown
There's a lot of
I'm a grown ass man. Don't do that.
yeah, yes, sir, yes, sir. Now you did mention reparations as one of the list. So you had a list of items that we should get. What other items you have before we get out of here?
Uh, as far as what we should get,
Yeah,
reparations is first and foremost. To a lesser extent, criminal justice reform, but all of us ain't criminal. Majority of us ain't criminal, so that's low on my priority list. Um, I say take the Emmett Till anti-lynching act that you passed and did not use to prosecute the person that caused the lynching of Emmett Till, that be Carolyn Bryant. She was still alive when that bill passed, and you allowed her to die without pursuing those anti charges. Well, let's actually use them for black people because you have all of these hate crime laws on the books, but they never get used in cases where they're clear hate crime laws. Let's circle back around. You can use those hate crime laws, circle back around to all these police shootings because those are hate crimes. When you can bring when we see that you can bring in serial killers and these mass murderers that shoot up high schools and all of these other institutions, grocery stores and churches, and you can bring them in alive, but an average black person with a cell phone and no weapon is shot, and this happens on a daily basis. I'm not even exaggerating. Look it up. Police killings have increased under the Biden administration. That means there are more police killings under President Biden than there were under Donald Trump, behind them killing us under Donald Trump, but we're curiously passive under Biden. We allow the Democrats to get away with stuff that we would never allow a Republican Party to get away with. And I think it's high time that we hold both parties equally accountable for how they treat Black America.
Yes, sir. Man. Boy, you brought it today, man. And I'm glad
Yeah,
you did, Hot Tub.
I feel a certain type of way about disrespect, bro.
Yes, sir. Definitely, man. But I definitely appreciate it, man. So I know you got things to do as well, uh, and more into your day, but I definitely thank you for taking part of your day to come on and again, hit the hard topics, man. Hot Tub Tony on all social media platforms. Make sure you check my guy out. Does great work and supports 401 Sports World Network, man. A true supporter, man. We definitely appreciate it.
Always a pleasure, bro. Hey, man, anytime you need, like I say, this is not the topic we sought out to do today, but
Yeah,
we definitely felt it was necessary to at least give our hot take on it.
yeah, absolutely, man. And we'll get back to a sports related topic off the field next week, right? So we
Next
got
week.
something we're going in store for y'all. So you might want to get ready for it. It's gonna relate to college football. So be ready for that. All right. So if you're out there and you haven't voted, if you haven't decided which way you're going, that's okay. You make the decision that's best for you. And don't let anybody bully you into what kind of decision you're gonna make. You make the one that fits you best. And
Uh,
that's the best way we can leave you with that. All right. Well, for Hot Tub on 411, we thank everybody, and we catch y'all next week. Be ready for it. Until
peace.
then, see ya.